What's up, everybody? Jack over here, Frank over there, and today we are going to be talking about our hard night guards and frequently asked questions that are associated with them. So let me go ahead and flip the camera over to Frank, and we can start talking about it.
Hey, Jack, thank you. Hard night guards are one of many that we make, and we're going to talk about them today. What's different about them than the other guards? Well, exactly as it sounds, they're hard. And that differs from our hybrid guard, which is soft inside, hard outside, and our grind guard, which is soft with an extra layer of soft and hard outside.
I know in a little bit you're going to show us the material that the guard is made out of, but that does not sound like it could be comfortable, is it?
Jack, the hard guards are as comfortable as a mouth guard can get because it's custom formed to your mouth. However, the hard material will feel a bit snugger than some of our other choices because they have soft interiors which make them more comfortable. But you know, before we get into the nitty gritty of hard night guards and our other night guards, I just want to say how excited I am. I just had a pumpkin muffin and it's got me fired up. And on top of that, it's Prime Day. This is the second day of Prime Day and Prime Week, and that means free shipping on all your orders. So if you're inclined to order a night guard, do it this week. Save $18 on shipping.
Yeah, and the code for that is Prime Week. So use that code when you are ordering your night guard or even a mouth guard.
Easy enough, right?
Very easy. Continuing on, why are there different types of night guards?
Well, there are different types of night guards for different issues that are going on in people's mouths. So let me give you a look at what's happening here. So this is a piece of hard night guard material. You can see that it's not very thick. It's thin. It goes in your mouth, but it is hard throughout. And this is for the most ardent grind guy, clacker. This is the person that's really got a heavy nighttime activity. And they need something to protect the surfaces of their teeth. In other words, they're going through other types of guards. And one more thing about that. Folks that have previously had a night guard from their dentist and the dentist provided a hard guard, we suggest that you stick with that because you're used to that. If you're used to something else, let's talk about it and we'll tell you the suggestions for that.
Yeah, and you briefly mentioned your dentist, and I know my dentist can do this for me. What's the difference between Impact and a dentist?
Yeah, here's the truth. Your dentists are wonderful, and in fact, they will often send out their cases, in other words, the production of night guards, to a lab like ours. We're just going direct to consumer. In other words, you order your night guard, you get a kit at home, you do an impression by mixing the material together and then biting down into that material. Nice and easy, of course. And then sending that back to us. And so it's like cutting out the middleman. You get better pricing by going direct to Impact.
Does insurance cover the cost of night guards?
Depends. Insurance companies will often cover the cost of night guards, but the way you're going to have to do it typically is to make the purchase, take your receipt to the insurance company, and ask for the reimbursement. If you're trying to use an HSA savings credit card to make the purchase, they work about 50% of the time. So if you find that it's not working for you, take the receipt to your insurance company, ask for the reimbursement.
Yeah, and just to remind the audience, these are questions that have come from our customers or soon-to-be customers.
Yeah.
So the next question is, I keep buying these things at the grocery store, Dollar General, or just a cheap shop. Why should I believe that Impact is different than these guards?
Look, folks, we make night guards and we make mouth guards for athletes in all sports. And every mouth is different. But the one thing that off-the-shelf guards have in common is that they're designed to fit everybody, and as a result, don't fit anybody very well. And so imagine, and if you've done it, you know, you're sticking your guard into boiling water, and then you're expected to take this molten hot piece of plastic out of the water and stick that in your mouth. Well, firstly, there's a fear factor. Secondly, the guard isn't designed for you specifically. So going back to that impression kit that we send you, when you do your impression in this tray, you're going to send it back to us. We're going to pour a model of your mouth right here in our office. with that model, we've got an exact representation of what your mouth looks like. And so if you've got some jacked up teeth like I've got that are jangled and janky, then we're going to have that right here in the model. And that model, we're going to take the piece of night guard material and we're going to press the guard to fit you perfectly. Then our craftsmen, who are so skilled, are going to cut that guard to your gum line or to your teeth line, and it's going to fit perfectly. So much different than something off the shelf. It's night and day. You know, people are scared to sleep in those mouth guards that they get from off the shelf because they're floating around in the mouth. Custom is so much different. Let me show you. Look at that. It's locked on. This thing is on, man. I could talk, I could breathe, and I'm certainly not scared to sleep. So let me show you taking it off. This is a little spitty and graphic. But that's what a night guard should fit like.
Yeah, and it actually looks like we have our first ever question on the night guard page. And it's from Abel. He's been tuning into our videos recently, so thank you, Abel.
Hi, Abel.
But it looks like it's a two-part question. If you buy an impact mouth guard, will it always fit? And the putty that you send, is it enough?
Wonderful question, Abel. Let me see if I have the question correct, though. If you are over the age of 14 or 15 years old and your mouth has stopped changing, and we have an impression on file, the likelihood is that we can continue making guards from that impression on and on and on. However, if you've had a change in dentition, you've gotten something done like had a crown put on, or anything has changed in your mouth, we'll need a new impression for a perfect fit. Now, with respect to the putty being enough, was that the question, Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yes, you should have enough putty to fill your tray so that it looks just like this. It's a horseshoe. There's nothing in the center. No need to fill that space with putty when you're doing an impression. Does that answer that?
Yeah, I definitely think that answers it. And we have another question coming in through McKinney Andrew.
Yeah.
He says, what happens if I wear through my grind guard and it no longer works?
Well, that's exactly what should happen. Andrew, was it, Jack?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly what should happen. Your mouth guard should wear out over time. Why is that? Because you're grinding the heck out of this part of the mouth guard and this part, depending on where you're grinding. And it's taking the brunt of the activity at night. And so over a period of time, that's exactly what you want to see, is that your night guard is wearing out. Now, you may ask, well, how long should that take? And the answer is, it depends. It depends on how ardent your grind is. And that's really the answer. So, some folks go through their night guards in 3 months. Some people last for 5 years. So it just depends on how you're going at it.
For those who are going through their night guards in 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, whatever, tell them about the new program that we just launched.
In the nightclub. You guys got to join the nightclub. Why? Because it gives you 20% off already industry low rates on night guards. And so for $25, you join the nightclub, you get 20% off all your purchases for the year on night guards, retainers, ultra thin day guards, and any type of night guard you like.
You just mentioned retainers and day guards, and we just got a question in from Kathy saying, when you wear a retainer or day guard, please tell us what the guard feels like. Is it hard, soft, or flexible?
Yeah, so if you've ever had a Essex style retainer, these are hard plastic. They're not unlike a night guard, except they're really quite thin. And so we start with 1 millimeter of material. And if I had one here, I'd show you, but it's really easy to talk. You could have that in all night if you're not grinding. It's not meant to be a grind guard, or all day. Some folks, they chew their cheek during the day while they're sitting at the computer, or they clench their teeth really hard. They don't even know it. That's what the day guard is for.
Yeah, thank you for that question, Kathy. The last guard I used had a funky smell and yellow color.
Yeah.
Will Impacts do that?
Let me tell you something about the funky smell of saliva. Your dogs love it. So if you don't keep your guard clean, your dog's going to seek out your night guard, take it off the nightstand and chew it up because of the smell of saliva. It's amazing. We get the call every day. Now, how do you keep your guard clean? It's really pretty simple. You can see mine has no discoloration and it's completely clear. Well, every time I use this, I rinse it in cold water. And after that rinse, I give it a spritz of Guard Health. Now, Guard Health kills all the bacteria and germs. Importantly, there's no alcohol, peroxides, or any other chemicals in there that are harmful. Just enough to kill the germs. 99.9% of germs killed in 60 seconds. And so give it a spritz with the Guard Health, let it dry during the day, and then if you feel like it, give it another spritz before you put it on at night, and this is going to keep your guard sparkly clean.
Abel said for nightclub. I'm not sure what that means, but once he hears that, hopefully he gives us another reply and lets us know. Another question that we often have is, will my wife still think I'm sexy when I wear this hardware to bed?
Jack, when you get married, I'm going to ask your wife if she thinks you're sexy when you wear your night guard to bed. But the answer is, if you're taking care of yourself, your wife will think you're sexy. So get the night guard to protect your teeth from the surfaces of each other, because worn out teeth are a lot less sexy than wearing a night guard. So whoever asked that, great question. Protect yourself.
Yeah, and the last question that we have is, I've never had a night guard before, and my dentist says I need one desperately. Is this the right place to start?
Well, if you're asking me if the hard night guard is the right place to start, I would turn this question back on you and I'd ask you, what did your dentist recommend, if anything? Did they just say you need a night guard? If so, I would suggest that you start with the 2mm hybrid guard, especially if this is your first guard ever, because it's the most comfortable, thin, easy to get used to because it's got a soft interior and hard exterior. Now, remember, we're not dentists, so we're not prescribing, we're not diagnosing. All we could do is make suggestions based on the experiences of our past customers. And so, first night guard, go with the hybrid by my suggestion. If you have had a guard before, try and stick in with about the same thing that you've had before. Which brings me to one more point, and then back to you, Jack, is that if you've had a lower night guard in the past, you'd likely want to stick with the lower guard because that's what you're used to. It's easy for you to sleep with that in. Typically, don't switch between upper and lower. With that said, about 98% of folks always use upper guards.
That's about it from me, and it looks like that's about it from the audience. Do you have any last minute things you'd like to add?
I think we had questions from Abel and Kathy and Andrew. Guys, thank you very much for watching. We appreciate you tuning in. We are about to close up this session, but we're going live over on our Impact Mouthguard channel. So if you're interested in mouthguards, we're going to be talking about MMA style guards today, and look forward to seeing you next time.